Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's stream. For some reason, we are not capturing the game. Just give me 1 second. Why is that not working? No, not that one. What the hell? Pro streamer alert. Hang on a second. Why are we not capturing the game? Capturing full screen method application. Okay. Capture a specific window then. There we go. There we go. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome to this Sunday stream. Today we're playing a bit of Factorio. I've been playing a lot of it recently, and I thought, well, you know, why not stream it? So that's what we're doing. We've just got the game set up and ready to go. So let's start our adventure. So here we are on our little planet. We have everything we need around us to be able to start our base. Got some resources. Crude oil down there. Oh, 1 second. There is one thing I have forgotten to pick out, and that is my seed for my Factorio settings for all of my blueprints. Control C that. And nope. Blueprint book. Create a new one. Oh wait, no, you don't do it like that, you do it like that. There we go. There we go. Let's start by demolishing our spacecraft and getting all the resources from it. We do already start with some miners. So we have 1 miner. So we'll get some coal. We need some wood. Thankfully there's a lot of wood trees near us so we can get wood. Oops. We'll build a box. Actually, it'd be better if we did it here, so we could go there, 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 there. Unload straight into the box. Put half the wood in. And we'll just keep clearing up. Our mess from the space crash. Okay. I think that's everything. Yes, that would look like that is everything. So, we need to get some more materials, so we're going to have to do a little bit of mining. There's a bit of hand mining. Tick, 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 tick. There we are. Pop down our stone furnace. Some wood in. start making some iron. So the early games of the early start in Factorio is really, really slow. In the beginning, it's a lot of doing things yourself. Oh, I need to build a furnace first. That involves a lot of running around and picking up all the resources. Yourself. Which is why in single player it takes a hell of a lot more time to get started and to get set up. Whereas if you have a friend in multiplayer, one of you can be doing one thing while the other's running around doing something else. Some more wood, some fuel for it. So again, we'll build ourselves a box. Whoop. And we'll pop that in the middle. Up there. Some wood. Out of fuel for the coal miner. So we need to get some more miners going. It involves a lot of manual labour. So for anyone who's not played Factorio before, basically you land on this planet and your goal is to make a spaceship to leave the planet. But along the way, there are the local bug population who hate pollution. And what they'll do is they'll try their best to destroy your base in any way that they see fit. Whether that is sending mass waves of the bug population at your base, so you have to defend your base, and the further into the game you get, the more bug bases you will reveal, and the harder the enemies will become, because the enemies will level up. So when you attack their bases, they will start putting their own defences in place in the form of these worms which spit at you, and they have quite a long range, especially when they get the large ones. The large ones are really difficult in the beginning to be able to make sure that you don't get killed by them, because when you die, you drop all the stuff on the floor where you die, which is really annoying. Do I need some more iron? Some more iron, so that means I need to get another furnace going. Iron is the resource that you're going to use the most, so keeping up with your iron consumption is always the hardest task. If you run out of iron, you're in for an all world of hate. So in the early game, you do start off with a weapon. You start off with a pistol. So at least you can defend yourself from the bugs when they do eventually attack. $60 for these trees here. There's some rocks there, so we can quickly get some more stone. I'm mining through that. Like so. And we can get some more miners built. Get another coal one up. And then we'll look at getting a copper vein started. I don't want to be using all the trees that we've got around us right now, because early game you need trees to make electric poles. I need some more wood. There we go. That'll get us some copper. And then we can start thinking about setting up a copper smelter. So this little box here is the area in which we can see. We have this area opened up to us, and then the rest of the world, as you can see here, is the fog of war. And now this red little blotch that has come up, this is the pollution. So anything that we start making and polluting in the atmosphere, so whether that's making electricity, crafting, also when you're making iron, copper, plastic, anything which would normally make pollution in real life, create pollution in this. And the thicker the pollution, the darker red this area will become. So when you've got your smelting arrays going at full whack, and it's just crafting right away, just always going, never stops, it'll be very, very polluting to the atmosphere, which will make the bugs want to come and attack you more because you're polluting so much. And if your factory's having a lull, then the pollution will go down, and then you won't have quite as many bug attacks. As well, trees, as they do in real life, also soak up pollution. So down here we have some trees, and I think there'll be some trees up here because it looks like that's more wetlands. So trees naturally soak up the pollution, but too much pollution, the trees will die. So it's that balancing act again of, well, we have trees around the base, loot, and wherever the trees are, the pollution won't go through it. But eventually, if you don't cut the trees down, the trees will naturally die from the amount of pollution you're putting into the atmosphere. So then the pollution will naturally move through the forest, or little bit of wood, or wherever the trees are, and kill them, which means the pollution will spread. And then when the pollution starts spreading further that way, that means more bug bases spawn in, and you start getting attacked from that direction. actually. I've just thought we can do this a different way. That there. We can already do a little bit of automation, in a sense. So what this little setup does, as soon as it's mined the iron ore, it goes straight into this. See, gone from 39 to 40, and then it'll go into making iron plate straight away. We could do the same over here as well. We have two furnaces spare, so we can do that. Now, these furnaces can store 100 of their items that they're crafting. So 100 copper can be stored in these and 100 iron can be stored in the other. So we currently have a capacity of 400 iron and 200 copper. To start us off, which is very, very good indeed. So, because we're now expanding, we are going to need some more coal, some more fuel. So we're going to need some more miners. We are quite a way away from water. I mean, there's a little bit of water here. So, in terms of being able to get power to our mining arrays over here, it is going to be a bit of a pain. Sorry about that, I was just doing a quick AV check on myself. The game needs to come up slightly. There we go. So we're producing quite a good amount now of iron plate. So we can think about putting electricity down. Because these mine at 0.5 a second and these mine at 0.25 a second. So the electric miners are faster at mining than these guys. So we do need to think about moving over to those. Let's say we have the water here. We have quite a lot of distance to cover when it comes to getting power over to our mining areas. So we're going to need a lot of trees and a lot of copper to make the basic poles, electric poles. So we need to go get some copper. And we're out of fuel. So now we're going to have to run back over this way and put some fuel in. Like I saw. This is what I was just saying. Early game. It's just a balancing act of keeping everything producing until you can get electric. Now, these small poles, you get 2 every time you craft. Technically there, we're getting 122 poles, which is going to be a very, very good amount. So, we need to make a water pump. And we don't have any copper, because we need to make green circuits in our backpack. So you can craft anything you'd like. Well, not anything you'd like. Any fluids you can't craft in your backpack, but majority of the things in logistics, production, combat and so on, you can create in your backpack. Anything that needs smelting, anything that is liquid, you can't craft in your backpack. Obviously you can't store liquid in your backpack, so that's why you can't craft it. I say majority of the other things in the game you can craft in your backpack. We'll get a couple of repair packs as well, ready for when the buggy bugs come. And then once we've got power set up, we can think about getting all of our miners to be electric, which is going to involve quite a lot of iron. Once we've done that, we'll then look at getting research going, so we can think about going through the research tree. We'll probably start with getting some stone walls, and then get ourselves a better self-defense weapon. So this would be like a little assault rifle. So we have to make stone walls inside a insert brain little factory here. So that was some. So there's a lot of things we need to research. So we start off with the absolute minimum, then create something beautiful in the form of a factory. So, put the water pump down. The water pump doesn't need power. I've never understood why it doesn't, but it doesn't, so I'm not going to complain. We then need a boiler, which we'll put here, and then we need a steam engine. Now you can do 2 steam engines to 1 boiler, as long as you've got enough fuel to be able to supply it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a electric inserter and a box. So early game, what I'm going to have to do is I'm still going to have to do a little bit of running until we get to the point where everything's electric. And then what I can do is I can belt things and belt some copper, belt some coal even over here, and then our electric production will then be fully automatic, as long as we supply it with enough coal from down here. So I'm going to take all that coal, I'm going to go back round everything to make sure everything's fully fueled. Well, maybe not fully fueled, but got enough fuel so that I can continue production. So there, that can have 25, that can have 24. I'll put some coal in the box, like so. We need some electric poles to start producing the power, and as well we need to supply the boiler with water, so we need to make ourselves some pipe. 1 iron makes 1 pipe. There we go. So the water's filled the pipe, which means this is full of water. Now what I'm going to do, start planning out power lines, and we'll get a couple of things. A little bit further. So these small power poles can only be 2 tiles away from each other, outside of this blue box. Now I use these small poles when I'm creating my turret ring around my base. There are many ways you can defend your base. There are laser turrets, flamethrowers, plasma turrets, and actual ammo-fed turrets. I do have a couple of mods installed which one of them allows you to make sniper turrets, so obviously they have increased range. When you get like, I think it's like level, I think it's the Mark 3 sniper turret, they have some insane range and some insane damage, so they're something which we need to think about making later on. So we'll get a couple of miners. Now I like to make sure that we have miners in a set pattern. So what you can do is, when we get belts, if you do it like this, you've got a belt in the middle, you're filling both sides of the belt, and then it'll feed up. We're going to need a little box, and then we're going to need the power. So there we are. That is our first piece of automated mining setup, and we'll do. We've got 4 over there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rip all this up. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then we'll pop back down that and that. Got one there, there and there, and then we can also get some inserters, and then we can insert what we've made into a box. So I'm going to make some iron chests. And then what you can also then do is you can limit how much the box will be filled. So I don't want it limited, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then we need to connect it up to the network. So now everything will now be excuse me. Automated. I'll keep those going for a little bit longer. Just so I do always have an extra surplus of coal. Because again, coal we're going to need tons of. So, put the coal in there. I'm going to take this 50. Pop it in. And there we go. We now have electricity. If I run back over here, you will see that we are mining electrically. Beautiful. And as well, the inserters are picking up all the iron that is inside furnaces and popping them in our boxes. And then we'll do the same here. To get us set up. There and there. And then an inserter there and there. And a box. There and there. And then connect it to the network. Then put some coal in the furnaces. And we shall go and set up some science. I have some copper ore in my backpack, so I don't need that on me. Because again, I can't mine copper ore into copper plate. Okay, so to make science packs, what you need in the beginning is you make red science. So we're going to need quite a bit of red science to get us started. So I'll get a few of those being built. And then we need a lab. So we'll build a lab. So currently we're using about 600 kilowatts of power. This Mark 1 steam engine produces 900 kilowatts. So if we start exceeding 900 kilowatts, this isn't going to be able to keep up with the power demand, so we're going to need to put a second steam engine down. As you can see, our pollution is starting to spread quite rapidly now. So we've now got this steam engine and this boiler constantly producing power. What you'll notice as well is that the wind will change direction. So there is wind on this planet, or in this game. You can see the wind will always change direction so that the pollution goes everywhere, which is really annoying. My voice feels a bit croaky today, I must apologise. Okay, well now that these guys are starting to run out of coal, we will... we'll stop them. Take the coal that we've currently got and stick it in the box for the power. So it's still using that 50 that I put in. So that's good. So we're not going to be using tons of coal currently. Okay, so we now have a lab. I'm just going to stick the lab here. We're going to stick our red science, which we have crafted. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to make another 5. And then we're going to the research tab. We can think about researching automation. It's going to take 10 science packs to be able to researchers automation. These are the sciences which we can craft throughout the game. So we have red, green, grey science, blue, purple, gold, the yellow science, depending on how you want to call it, and then a white science. We're doing fine on fuel. Do, 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 do. There we have it. We have an assembler, level 1. Now the next thing I want to get, so it's one of these three is what we need next. We'll probably go with logistics. Yeah, go with logistics. So I've just said for me to build an assembler, so pop an assembler down, and with this assembler we're going to be making red science packs. Do we need another assembler? Because the red science, as we just said, needs copper plate and gears. If we do that, we can make another inserter. Put the arms in. We need one more. Okay. So I'm going to say to this inserter, I want you to make gears. I will give you 100 inside. Just pop 100 straight inside the assembler, which will make gears right away. I'll put some more in the chest, so once this is empty, it will feed from the chest. We then need to make another chest. We'll get some more copper, iron, sorry. And then we're going to need some copper. Come over here. 100 copper. And put the box. Let's insert it down, put the box down, put the copper in, and then we're going to start making our red science packs. And again, I can always make science packs in my backpack. Helps speed up the process ever so slightly. So this is just a very rudimentary way of being able to make signs. And of course we could always put down a second science dome and put an inserter in, and what that'll do is just keep feeding and feeding. The more you put in a line and put inserters, it'll just jump from one to the next when it needs science packs to be able to do the research. I'll just leave it to do that now. Okay. So we have some science going. We have our electricity being made. We now need to think about where we're going to start building our factory. Where are we going to start putting down our smelting arrays, and in which direction are we going to expand into? Clear out this stone. Now there is something else we can build. We can build radar. So I'm going to build a couple of those. What that'll allow us to do is see further around our base. Currently we can only see anything inside our personal little line of sight. But if I put down a radar at the end of our... at the end of the telegraph poles, so I'll put that down, our sight of view has got bigger. So if I go to the other end, you'll notice as well on the minimap there is a blue box that shows the range at which the radar will extend. So there we are, look, we can now have a good little sight around our little base. So I'm going to have a little look up to the north here. Just see what the terrain is like. See if there's enough space for us to be able to start planning our base. I always like to zoom out as far as I can. I don't want to be running into a bug base, because I am currently not equipped to be able to defeat them as it stands. So there's a base up that way, so I don't want to be going too far north. I think this is more than a... This is looking like more than enough space to be able to build our base. The thing I forgot to say as well, with radar will also unlock tiles around where they are placed to be able to extend your sight. Just 1 second. Sorry about that, my mother rang up. asking me if I wanted to go up to the pub. So I may be going to the pub later. Yay! Right, so during that little silence for myself, we completed logistics level 1. So that's the yellow belts. Yellow belt is the slowest belt in the game. You have red, yellow, red, and blue belt. So we've now got belts, which is good. And then I've also set up to give myself the assault rifle weapon. On our little adventure north, there is a bug base up here, which we will have to take out at some point. So got to be mindful of that. We have some water over here, which is pretty decent. We have some stone, and just on the top there, we can see there's some iron. At the moment, I've only revealed that there is 12,000 iron ore there waiting to be mined. So we will go over there at some point, probably with a train. Any opportunity I get to use trains in this game, I will use, because I love trains. It's the same whenever I play Transport Fever. Trains, I use trains everywhere in Transport Fever, because trains are awesome. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll set up a station somewhere. I always set a station up at the end of my factory, unless it is for the uranium. When we're doing nuclear power, I like to just have nuclear, have it be its own little self-contained little units. It'll have its own station for the ore to be dropped off at, and then immediately mined into usable uranium fuels or blocks. Sorry, and then you can refine that into fuel and fuel for trains, trucks, anything you use, and into fuel for your uranium reactors. So that'll be much later on. We're nowhere near that at the moment. So we've done the research, so we'll get the next one going. And I'm going to need some iron plate. And then we're going to need some coal. And the box is full. Good, so we'll empty that box. Then we can start putting 50s, a full stack of 50 in. Oops. On these. Obviously we will be going fully automated with this, so I won't have to keep running around and doing it myself. It's just while I'm currently, again, while I am setting up. Put the rest in there, make sure that's always full. So currently we are at capacity. Actually we are, so we could probably do with another steam engine. And then I am going to need some pipe, which we already have. Excellent. Do that, pop it in, connect it up, connect it to the network. Now I always use so if you're on the radar, if you look at the can't keep this screen open. So where it says underneath the radar, it says electricity consumes electricity. It says it consumes 300 watts, and underneath there's a little bar, green bar that says electricity. That says how much electricity it is able to pull. If it's fully green, it means it can use its full 300 kilowatts and be fully satisfied with electricity. The further down it goes to orange, then red. If you get into red, it means you have nowhere near enough electricity being produced, so you need to up your electricity gain. So now that we're able to build ourselves some stone walls, we're going to make some turrets. Now I am going to set out some miners. I need one of them. So goes into there. I'm trying to remember now. that into there. And then would need an assembler. To take the stone blocks. Yeah. So we're going to need to make a belt. Oops. You need to go there. You need to go there. So now we're making stone brick. And with the stone brick, once I get some copper, get some copper, we can make ourselves an assembler. And we also need to make ourselves some inserters. So an assembler. Yep. And we can also think about having 2 furnaces. And then what we can do is we can say you and you do that. Amount of iron. Late game as well. I'll take 100. You can get logistic bots, and you can tell the logistics network, I want this item. Go fetch me, so you don't have to run around your entire factory. Picking up items, and it makes your life so much easier. So there, and then it up. So far there's only 1 bug base. And the pollution is slowly creeping up towards this base. So what that means is then we will be getting attacked from the north at some point. When the pollution gets to the north, they won't like the pollution, so then they'll come down to investigate what's causing the pollution and try to get rid of it. Which is why I've got some stone walls being produced, and why I've gone for gun turrets. Build a wall, couple of turrets. That's more than enough for an early game bug attack. As you get further into the game, you need to do a hell of a lot more in the way of defense. Right, what would be next? What would we need? Weapon shooting speed? Yeah, we'll get that. Yeah. But let's see if we can get that going. Swap those over, so I'm always on the machine gun. Now then, because we are going to be... Well, that's going to take a while. That is going to take a while. Okay, maybe not. We'll go for long inserters. That'll be quicker research. So I've just set this up because we're going to need a hell of a lot of stone when we start making our smelter arrays. Because obviously these furnaces need stone. So I'm going to set that going. And then I'm going to look at setting up a assembler to make us some belt. Probably make a couple. So I'm going to steal all of the steel. Get a couple of assemblers. What I'm going to need, it's iron, one iron, one gear, belt. So if I do a 1 on 1 and 1 on 1, yeah, that'll be fine. So we'll do 4, so that'll be that into there, that into there. Not a wooden box actually. Okay, so box, box, 2 more boxes, box and box. So you're going to be making me some iron, some gears, and you're going to be taking it from there, putting it into there. You're going to take your iron from that box. You're going to take iron from that box. You're going to put the belt in that box, just like that. And you're going to be making belt. You're going to be making belt. You're going to need some iron, and you're going to need some iron. 3. 3. We'll grab some more. Whoops. There we go. Like so. And then we're going to power everything like so. I think we're going to do some more inserters to keep up. It's currently not keeping up with the gears. Like that, and then making tons and tons of belt for us. It's beautiful. Alrighty. So now we've got to think about where are we going to put some smelters, and the way I like to do my smelters, might not be the most efficient way of doing it, but it's the way that I do it. Because I know that there are people in chat who have played a hell of a lot more Factorio than me. So we'll need a little bit of soak, and then what we'll do is we'll go up like that. 1, 2, leave a gap. 1, 2, leave a gap. 1, 2. That goes across the top. We need to leave a gap for an inserter. Gap for an inserter. And that is an inserter. That is a smelting array that I normally use. We just need to make ourselves a lot more inserters. Now, right, so we need 4, 8, 12. Oh, that's a nice one. Nice bit of iron. 4.1 million. There may be some more up here, so there may be more. I haven't come across any copper so far. So we do need to keep an eye out for that. So the way that this smelting array is set up, so you have input bell of iron ore, you have an input bell of coal, you use long inserters to go off one belt, I've set that up wrong because I've gone right up to the top. Hang on. Instead of doing that, I'm moving everything. So like that. And that is a smelting array right there. And then we need some power. Now all we need to think about doing is connecting up. We need to get more miners, build out our smelting, our mining operation on this iron ore, and then belt everything up to here. Again, I don't know if this is the most efficient way of doing smelting, but it's the way that I use. I've been using it for quite a while, so if it isn't fully efficient, then I would like to know another way of being able to do it. Some miners built. Ugh, my tea's cold. I need a hell of a lot of belt now to get this smelting. To get the get all this belted together. So we'll start from this other end down here. So we're still producing iron at this end. We're also then going to have to think about upping the coal that we are at the coal extraction. Will probably be enough. We still have 16 more miners. Not miners, furnaces, sorry. Like that. And then we could take the belt right down the middle. Like so. And put the power in. There we have it. And now we need to go down here. Need to make some more miners. See how the power is doing. Seems to be doing okay. We have more than enough coal in our box for the boiler. Our research is slowing down because we aren't producing these quickly enough. So I am going to have to think about upping that production. And so far we've already come across one bug base up to the north here. So that is good. It's going to be a little while before we get attacked. Put that pole over there. Place those down. Get another run going. Actually, just for now, it would be better if we did that and had it going the other way. Just for now, just so it fills the belt. I'm a little worried. We only have 300,000 coal left. So I think we are going to have to really look at getting trains going as fast as possible. Finding ourselves another source of coal. Because it's surprising how quickly you can go through coal in the early days. Oh, we found some more crude oil down there, which is good. Got some more stone. I say we've got the iron. Just do with some finding some coal. Right. There is one thing we can do. We have all this coal in our backpack. So what we can do is put an inserter down. Got a box. Fill that box up, give it some power, and then it'll unload the coal onto the belt. Just gonna go fill up this box where the fuel has been made. Where the power's been made, sorry. Go. again. Get the power over and start on the production. Oop, there's another bug base over there, but they are in the trees, which is good. Hopefully the pollution won't spread over there quite as quickly. I'm going to save the game, so I haven't saved the game yet. Some more stone down there. Oh, that's just a different texture of the ground. Okay, I'm gonna need a quick bio break, so I'll be right back. Oh, I have returned. Thank you for your patience. And with a drink as well. Okay. Get some more miners built. Get this coal maxed out. Now, with this design, we can expand on this design. We can make it longer. And come all the way down here. And also, we can make more. What I like to do is, when I get my bus built, there will be 4 of these arrays. 1 for each belt. So there'll be 4 full belts going down the main bus full of iron. And then we'll make another 4 because I want 2 belts of iron, 2 belts of copper. Sorry, 2 4 belts. So 8 belts full of copper, 8 belts full of iron, 4 full belts full of green circuits. Probably 4 red circuits. 4 belts full of red circuits. I think maybe 2 belts full of blue circuits, but we'll worry about that later. So yeah, the main bus going down the middle of the factory is always going to need to be full. And it's always has to be big, because you want all the main resources that you're going to build with on the bus, so you can just pluck off what you need and expand the factory. Squeeze another one in there. Hang on, I've not put them in good space. It's that one, that one. There we go. I'm not liking that little junction there. And that. Oh, it's going to do the same. You. I'll put it there. There we go. That'll be better. So we have steel and we'll get electronics. So those are going to be the 8 iron arrays, iron smelting arrays, which we're going to be using eventually. Now, what I was saying about the bus. So the bus goes right down the middle of the factory. And the reason for that... Oh, and the reason for that is, again, so you can pick off what you need when you need it. It has to be quite big. And when you're doing a bus, if you leave a 2 gap in between, I haven't got any built. What you can do is, you can do this. So when you're taking things off the off the bus, you can jump in between the bus, and it doesn't make your factory look all messy. It has to keep it quite sort of clean. Right, so we've got 2 iron, 2 copper. Two iron, 2 copper, 4 green circuit. No, 8 green circuit, 4 red circuit, 2 blue, 2 plastic, batteries, 2, and something else. What am I forgetting? Forgetting a resource. Which one am I forgetting? See if I can jog my memory by looking at the... Nope, cannot think. But we've got 2 spare anyway, so if I do remember. Steel! I forgot the steel! There we go. Do we still have 2 spare? How could I forget steel? Get the trees out of the way so I can place the blueprint down. Get rid of that stone as well. 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Then need to do 2, 2. And 2. So these two and the other two are going to be the steel production on either end. Just means that all the just means everything ends on a nice little end. So make things look pretty. By having 4, having 8 iron and 8 copper means what you can do is the bottom half of the factory takes off one belt of 4, the top half of the factory takes off the second belt of 4, so it just balances it off nicely. Because what happens if you only have a bus with 4 on it, 4 belts for the iron, 4 belts for the copper, that belt can get saturated really quickly. So what you want to do is you want to just balance everything off nicely, which is what we've done here. I think we're going to need to get some turrets up, just to protect key parts of our base. All of the stone in there, we don't need to worry about that. We do need to put some more in the copper though, and then automate the copper. Copper mining and copper production. Some more coal in there. Soon we will belt over some coal. What I think then. But not yet. And then we also need to think about automating science production and everything else. There's quite a lot we need to think about. What I'm going to do, put the plans down for where I'm going to be building next. Or what I'm going to be building next, sorry. So that's 2. 2. And trees. You're in the way. And you're dead trees and you're not useful at all. we are. So one of these is going to satisfy one belt. No, two belts. Hang on. Iron, copper, green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits. Plastic and batteries. Steel plate? Yeah. Still feel like I'm missing something to go on the belt though. I really do. I can't think what. It's really bugging me. How many green science we're not doing yet, which I can't do yet. Well, we don't need these anymore. Because we have our array up here. And the next thing we're going to think about we're going to do 8 belts, didn't we? 2, 2, 2. Yeah. So this side can fill one lot of 4, the other side can fill another lot of 4. Just so I'm prepared. Something's in the way, is it? I do just like, as I say, to get everything planned. Planned out. Not that one. That one. What am I doing? To my little buck. Oh, we've uncovered some more bug bases. I like to do this because then you're not having to have belts go backwards. All belts will head in one direction. There, our base is going to be huge by the time we are done. Okay, so we've set down the green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits. Good amount of copper there. We'll be able to use that. So the next thing we can think about doing is actually populating our belt. Our bus, sorry. I may have built these slightly too far up. Looking at it. I know, if I just move these backwards. Let's go into the trees. Right. Then wait, what? Oh no. Okay. Why are my symbols rattling? Oh, this is weird. Hold on. That's so weird. My symbols were rattling. I have no idea. Oops, excuse me. No idea why. See how that spacing goes. Iron, copper, green, red, blue, steel, plastic. Yeah. Let's say copper. One, two, three, four. Right, for now, what we'll do is we'll nick what was going to be an iron. Just to save us on resources for building tons of belt. So what I want is I want all copper on this side, all iron on this side, copper on the other. But just because we're early in the game, move. Okay. Just because we're early in the game, I will just pop it on this side for now. What am I missing? Copper. By 12. I've not found any coal anywhere. Oh, speak of the devil. There'd be the coal. Well, actually, I'd be better doing it closer. We're better doing that. Great. I need a splitter. Then we need to get some more miners. Power seems low. Yes. Thank you for that, Soulburn. How are you doing? It's a boiler. Doing well enough. Does that mean you're having a bit of a bad day so far then? A bad week? Oh dear. Oh, we all have bad weeks from time to time. There's always better times ahead, regardless of what's happened. Not worse than usual. Just a meh week. Yeah. Is that because of work then? Or is that personal things? To right click to craft 5. I never knew that. Ah! I've played Factorio for 300 odd hours and I never knew right click did that. Noob alert! Yeah, but then you won't be generating enough power, will you? If I put 2 boilers on the end, the efficiency go down. If I did that, steam drops off, and then these don't generate enough power, do they? Yeah. Those 2 can be in a row. Yeah, I could put them one behind each other, I suppose. It would take up less room, but I put you the wrong way around. I just think it looks prettier that way. And press R to rotate the inserters without removing it. How have I never known these things? Again, I've played this game for 300 odd hours and how have I never known this? No, to be fair, I never did the tutorial. Yeah, I never did the tutorial, no. I just watched some other streamers that I watched play Factorio, and I was like, huh, I'm gonna give that a go. So yeah. After watching them right from the beginning up to the end, it gave me a good idea of what you need to do and how you need to do it. Did you know you can also click control on a fairness to put in? Yes, I knew that bit. I knew you could do that. Yeah, I did know about that. Yeah. Right, we now have a pickaxe. We could probably do with getting that set up. And then I can place down my blueprints for our first science array. Is that the right one? Yeah. I take it you've got quite a few hours in this game as well then. No, I'm not an Aussie. Not an Aussie. A couple. No, I'm not an Aussie. I'm from Yorkshire. Where are you from then, Solburn? All those English-speaking countries are the same. Well, yes and no. I mean, Christ, you go to different parts of the country, the UK, and people speak differently. It's with a different accent. Israel. BL. There's a lot of there's a lot of shit going down in that part of the world at the minute, isn't there? I don't understand Scottish people. I don't understand Scottish people. I have a Scottish manager, and I'm like, half the time I'm like, hey, say that again. What? But you get used to how they speak. You get used to the accent. The more you're around those types of people, the more you do understand what they are saying. So it's like with Americans as well. It's you know, Americans have their own little word, like slang words and stuff like that, and it's like, you what? Eh? But yeah, the more you're around someone, the more you get used to how they speak. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but yeah. Oops. Around. So what part? Even every country and region has the road. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like the UK is a strange one. So the English language has so many other different influences that different words can be said differently, but to mean different things, but they are spelt the same. So, like in the UK, you've got the Anglo-Saxons. You've got influences in language. You've more in the north, and then you've got Celtic, sort of in the west country, and then in the south you've got more of a Greek way of speaking, because obviously when Rome and everything. Oh, I think my dog's home. Do I have a very dirty, muddy puppy? You are. Lily! Is that what your text was? Ah. Your mum likes dogs. Yeah. Lily! Come here. What's this? Lily! One sec, let me see if I can get it to come up. Come here. Hey. Hello. Oh, you're wet as well. Have you been loved by your doggy boyfriends? Ah, she's too interested in her breakfast. So as I was saying, like the English language, when you start looking at where all the different influences come from, you can understand why the English language is a very buggered. Sorry about that. Right. What do we need to do new? So what time is it then in Israel? I don't know. Is it? I think you're 5 hours ahead? 6, I think? 2 o'clock. Oh, you're only 2 hours ahead. That was a lot further than that. Fair enough. DST is the thing, yeah. Right. Right, that gets us a belt full of copper. And then later on, we'll move the copper production to the top smelting array up here. It's just with us not having many resources at the moment. It just makes sense to have it just down here, and then I can flick it up later on. Okie doke. What do we need to do next? Well, we've got the science. We are running out of coal-ish. I mean, coal is the one we're probably going to run out of first. Coal, maybe the copper actually. Once we get green circuits being produced, we're going to be a bit low. So we're going to probably need to look at getting some trains. The pollution's slowly making its way over to these bases. I did build some turrets, did I not? Yes. And we are producing walls down here. Oh, there you were. Lily, come here then. Do you want a scritch? Lily, come on then. Up you get. Come on then. Up. Ah. Oh, don't stand on. Don't stand there. Oh, God, you are wet. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? You're very wet. You're not staying up here for long. Oh. You done? Yeah, you're very wet. Get down. Yeah, she's not staying up there. Oops. I'm all tangled. There we go. Ugh, she's got dog slobber everywhere. I didn't think it rained, but obviously it has. White walls, wasn't it? Yeah. I've got a red circuit. Red circuit. Red science in my backpack. Why? Oh, because we're not sciencing, are we? I'm like, why are we not sciencing? So to get that, we need engines and logistics, but we haven't set up green science yet, so let's continue with the red. We shall get the fast inserters. That'll make our life. What's that tech? Which tech? Looks like heat pipes. That one. That's heat pipe 1. So that one is for when you get close to nuclear. So if I click here, brings up all the nuclear stuff. So you can use fluid burning, which uses heat pipes to move the fluid around, steam around and stuff. But yeah, nuclear is what I use them for. I don't really use the fluid burning, but the heat exchangers you need for nuclear. What have you just nicked? 1 second, my dog's just nicked something. It's the bin. What mods am I using? Quite a few. Yeah, quite a few. I can't remember off the top of my head because I set up this mod. All the mods that I'm using when I first started with Factorio, I downloaded quite a few mods. So they've got like, if you save the game, it shows you. Right. Right, there you are then. So we have the bottleneck mod, we have the enhanced map colors, FIL 4.1.2, don't know what that one does. Train stuff, armors, sneak through, a lot of the Bob stuff, factory planner, walls, blocks, spitters, I don't know what that one does. Oh, is that the rail layer, the automatic rail layer? Ah, yes. I've never really experimented with that one. I only know that mod because I was watching Soviet Womble, and he was oh, we're in that. I might as well save it. Yeah, he was using it because you put all the resources in the carriages, don't you? In the of the train, and then tell it, right, I want you to build this, this, and this, and then drive forward. one of them. I need to remember whenever I build train stuff to put it in my blueprints book, because I always forget. So every time I build a station, I'm like, I forget to put it in my book, and then update my little text file. I have a notepad with the link to the source in. I always forget to update it. Okie doke. So we need to get green circuits. But yeah, it's one of them. I don't think I've ever played this game unmodded. I've always had mods. Yeah, I've always had mods, so I've never not used mods. Some of them, I think my very first game was more quality of life mods, so it was that like squeeze through. What was it? It's that sneak through mod and the to-do list mod and stuff like that. There was one mod I used, but it's not really that good. Basically, you're making like Terminators, like assault robots. But I found that was not really that good of a mod. I mean, other people might not have been using it correctly, so that could have been a problem. But yeah, I just decided to take that one out. And as well, on this playthrough, I have turned off cliffs, because I want to try and see if I can build a big factory without cliffs being in the way, just to see how difficult it is. And then the next time I play, I'll add the cliffs back in and increase the difficulty a little bit more. Cool, fast inserters. Oh, that'll be better. We'll get that in that research. Okie doke. So we're going to need to create a hell of a lot of assemblers. And we're going to need quite a few splitters as well, so we might as well queue those up. How many do we need? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what are your plans then, Soulburn, for the rest of... Whoa, no, don't do that. For the rest of your day. You're just chilling, watching streams, or have you got jobs at home that you need to do? God damn it. Getting back to work. Oh, you're working today. What do you do for a living? Oh, you're a software developer. Fair enough. I nearly went into that. But decided against it. Did a 2-year college diploma in IT, and then I would have gone off to university to do yeah, that was the thing. I didn't really like it. My friend Nathan, who I play with on a Tuesday, he's a software developer. We stream together on a Tuesday. But yeah, he's a software developer, and he likes his job. I'm not going to say he doesn't like his job, but You just get quite a lot of stress from it. Because he's now classed as sort of one of the senior developers in the company. So he gets a lot of the higher... Oh, what's the word? Like a higher class of... He gets all the important jobs, basically, from all the big companies. So he does have a lot of work on his plate. It's all the important work. Which he is thankful of, but again, it does put a lot of stress on. But it's like now, like with computers and stuff, I just do it for myself. You know, I toyed with the idea of being an engineer, building computers, building mainframes and stuff, but I'm like, I currently like building computers for myself. So it's like, could I really do that for a job where I have to build computers for a living? And I was like, well, maybe. But yeah, it was one of them. I decided against it. Yeah, building your computer too bad your GPU died. Oh no. Which GPU was it? Which one did you have? Just before the shortage. Oh no! That's awful. And it was a 1080 Ti. Oof. I've got a 1080 Ti. I bought it from a computer fair during the first big mining boom. You know, how many years ago was that now? 3 years ago, was it? 4 months after the warranty ended. Oh, that's awful. Which card was it? Which model was it? Was it like an MSI or something like that? Asus? EVGA for the Win 3. Normally EVGA cards are normally pretty decent. Oh, but that's... yeah. Oh, that is awful. Awful news. It's a known issue. Is it really? Is that just with the EVGA cards then? Ah, the PSU died as well. Had to replace that too. It could have been then your power supply could have caused the graphics card to die. Then the extension cable was not compatible. Oh, have you got all custom sleeve cables and stuff? Yeah. They are a money pit. Computers are a money pit. It's like mine, I've got a custom water loop. So every couple of years I have to strip it down, empty it. Ah, right, fair enough. Oh, Lily, calm down. Lily. I said Factorio works great with the onboard. Does it really? Onboard graphics, it works quite well. 1 second. So which processor have you got then? I'm guessing it'd be... well, say guessing it could be Intel, but 7700K. I've got 7700K. I've got mine overclocked to 4.8 gigahertz, I think it is, on all 4 cores. Yeah, 7700K 1080 Ti. Pretty decent little pairing. Yep, so I've got 7700K, an MSI Gaming X Trio. $3060 Ti to replace it. Yeah, good luck getting hold of one of those. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it doesn't help that there's a mining boom. You've got less capacity to build chips, you know, and everything else. It's just... I was looking at getting a 3080, because with my setup, I like to do a bit of sim racing. So yeah, well, that's another thing, isn't it? You're supporting scalpers, so it's like, why would you do that? You know, they're part of the reason everything's inflated. The other part of the reason is, well, there's 3 to 4 main reasons why everything's inflated. So you've got scalpers, mining boom, all your fabs not being able to keep up with production, and as well, you've got the issues in, COVID. And then you've got, as well, in Taiwan, you've got the issue where they're having a water shortage because they haven't had any typhoons yet. And droughts. Exactly, droughts, yeah. So there's all these factors which are meaning that it's just chip shortages everywhere. But yeah, so I'd like to get a 3080, but now they want about releasing the 3080 Ti, and I'm like, yeah, I think a 3080 Ti is probably the way to go next. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just demand on, obviously, computer parts, is it? You know, personal computer parts. You know, when Bloody dog. Put my dog in timeout for a little bit. Actually, it might be better if I let her outside. She might need to go to the toilet. I mean, yeah, people working from home and stuff is another thing, you know. And as well, like when you think about like the car industry, when the car industry is struggling to get their chips for their needs, and they're having to shut down their factories for building cars, you know, there's so many industries which are struggling. And it's only going to continue. You know, currently there's no end in sight. So that is the problem. But again, because we're gamers, we think that we have the sort of right to have a graphics card and stuff like that. So with all the rumours into it about like Nvidia selling pallet loads of graphics cards to miners because it's worth more and they can get a quick buck out of it. It's like, if you want to believe that, then that's up to you, but companies do what they do to make money. It's like as well, didn't MSI get caught out for scalping their own cards to inflate the price? Was it MSI? Can't remember now. I'm sure it was MSI. Iron, copper. Yeah, many reasons. Iron, copper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a couple 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Oh no, I'm out of power. Oh no. Oh no! Right. If that's not a sign that I need to get all the I need to get a belt of coal over here, I don't know what is. So we shall do that now. Will I remember? Tidy up this inventory a little. Do that. One second, guys, the dog wants back in. Okie dokie. Oh, nice 3.2 million coal there. That's nice. 2.6 copper. That's a 4.2 iron. Very nice. Very, very nice. A little bit of stone as well. Once we've got these set up. Bless you, Lily. We'll look at getting production started on all of the bits, inserters, belts. Start mass producing those. We haven't set that up properly yet. Right, that in there. And then we need that. Why aren't you... Oh. You don't have any iron. So why aren't they producing? Iron, copper, so that can go onto that belt. So we need to now put this down. Start looking at mass producing all of our belts, inserters, and the like. I'll take it, Solbear, and you're on break at the moment then, if you're saying you're at work. To get rid of some more. Okay, that should be enough room. Yep. I need to make a hell of a lot of assemblers. Bring all the belts over. All our raw materials. Sorry, not raw materials, all the processed materials. Le cassor. And as well, need to get base built. To get all of our science. As well, we're going to need to put on a second copper and second iron smelting array. I'd also think about putting some turrets down. Some little turret bunkers there and there, and a couple more there and there. I need to get some more turrets built as well. See how this goes. Oop, don't want shotgun shells. Need bullets. Bullets. some down here. So if I put one there. And then we're going to need another one somewhere else as well. Most probably. One way round. Coal. Some more coal. You're probably going to need some coal as well. There's more than enough of that in there, so we don't need to worry. While this ammo's been made, we can run over here, put some more belts, because we're going to need tons and tons of belts. And then there's another little turrets part set up. We've got one there, and one there. Could probably do with one, maybe here. And one over here, maybe. Probably be the best. And if I keep that final turret on myself, I can pop it down if I ever get into trouble. Hopefully that will mean, oh, well not mean, but hopefully that'll help protect those two areas. There's currently nothing over here that we know of, so they're not going to be coming in this way, I don't think. The main problem at the minute is they're going to be coming from up here and down here. Well, that's what I expect. Whether or not they actually do that is a different matter entirely. Okie doke. Get radar up. Another radar upgrade will be good. Speaking of radar, we can probably push the radar out a little bit further. Maybe move it somewhere along here, but we can sort that out later on, because I want to get this set up and producing for us, and I want to get the red and green circuits set up and producing. And then that outside one, if I remember, is green circuits and red circuit. But we don't need the red just yet because we're not that far enough into the tree. So for now we can just have it be green circuit. 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not a gap of 2. One, 2, 3, 4. That's not right. That's still not right. That's a gap of 1. Yeah, that's right. Oops, that goes there. And then that comes all the way down. I need that. So that jumps over that. That comes down this way. And like that. And then this is iron. Splits off there. Need some more iron for myself. That and that. That needs splitting off. That needs splitting off. And then split it there. Split it there. There. Should be another one. No. Okay. Also need more iron. Why aren't my green circuits coming down? Have I messed something up? Oh yeah, that one's backwards. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's not long enough. Oh no. Ah. It's not long enough. Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me sad. Dip, blip, and dip, 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 dip. That was in the wrong place. And then dip there. You there, you there. You there. Is that? Okay, I think we're now ready for these. Whoops. Okay, we're gonna need a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff now. And then, as well, we're gonna need to put another. I'm gonna have to expand on the iron, expand on the copper, and get the science going, and probably put another green circuit production on. There's too many tasks and there's only one of me. Now to iron. Quicker I can get this up, the easier my life will become. I don't need them, although I do need actually to get more built because I'm going to need a load for down there to get the power going. So that doesn't need cogs, which is good. Don't need to produce those yet because we haven't got the science. That, and then I need a couple of long inserters. I need some more iron. box there. Box there. Box there. Nothing else needs a box because I aren't producing anything else currently, or don't want to produce anything else currently. Right. Long inserter. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. Right. It'll be time to fire this beast up. Start mass producing stuff. Wish the game wouldn't do that. I really wish it wouldn't clip or connect wires where if there's multiple directions for it to go, then it needs to connect to all points, not just one. It's beautiful, is it not? Oh. Like, why are you working? Because you need cogs. Oh dear. Okay, so now we're iron starved, so we do need to go. And add more iron production. Which means we're now going to have to expand on what we are mining. I did not pick up any stuff I left. What a noob. Ooh, might as well get blue inserters. We're making them, we might as well have them. Right. I did that, 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 and then I can do the same again. Boiler 2 is finished. Steam engine 2. Hey, Sunset. How's it going? How are you this Sunday? Oh, I'm doing very well. Enjoying a little bit of Factorio. You play Factorio yourself? Some more of them. Oh. You sold it for the first time this morning? Yeah, there is a lot to take in, especially when you first start. A hell of a lot. I watched a couple of streamers myself play it first, just so I could get my head around it, because yeah, it does. That's in the wrong place. There we are. Yeah, so I watched a couple of people playing it first, just so I could get my head around it, because it's not as if it's a very challenging game, but your first few factories are just going to be a mess until you can figure out how things are meant to intertwine and how to lay out a factory. That was the problem with my first few factories, was getting that to work. And knowing the more you play and the more you know what's coming next. So like for me, you little bugger. Did the tutorial. It was such a mess, he just gave up on doing stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the best thing to do, there's a YouTube channel where I got all of my blueprints from. All these I didn't make, somebody else made them. Honestly, that is a lifesaver. So I have a book here with everything in. There's some bits I've added in, but I say this is just an amazing sort of tool to have. So he's made blueprints for everything in the game that you need to make, and different ways you can make them. So yeah, it just makes your life so much easier. If I can find the channel, let's see if I can quickly find the guy who did it. I can link you to him in chat. Factorio. I'll know the thumbnail when I see it. Is it this guy?
Welcome to Factorio.
Yeah, that guy. So watch his videos. Oh, don't worry about it. That's fine. There was a chap in earlier who was from Israel, and he was the same. He was like, I understand English, but not fully, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I said go to that YouTube channel. He's not English himself. I think he's German or he's like Eastern European. But yeah, he has links to where you can download the seeds. So everything, when you create a blueprint, it gives you a jumble of letters, numbers, symbols, and that's the seed for that, like a quick code for that blueprint. Oh, you're French? Ah, I learned French in school, but I can't remember much of it. I think I got a C in GCSE French, which is at the high school grades in the UK, but I don't remember much French. I can remember a bit of German, but I can only order 3 large beers. So to be fair, that's the only really German you need to know. But yeah, I said that video has a lot of links to everything he's made. He's done there should be a playlist on his channel where he builds everything. So he'll explain the reason. Excuse me. He'll explain the reason why he built this way, and he'll show you how he built it and why he decided to do copper, then the green circuits, and then the stuff in the middle. So he is well worth the watch to understand early Factorio bits. So yeah, I learned Spanish in school, got a lot about it. In a bit of Spanish I can remember is "Que se la ga," which I think is Spanish. You know, watch it when you have time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I say just watch for them, and then it'll give you ideas, and then you can download download his blueprints. You can put his blueprints into the game, and then it'll help you out a lot more with planning. Because I say everything in my blueprint book, apart from the balances I've made myself, but these balances are the same balances that other people have made. I just put them in my book, just so I've got them for next time. But I need to remember to make sure I put my train stations and train intersections in my book, because what you can do is, if you click on the export string here, this is what I meant by the numbers for the book. So it generates all this gobbledygook for what the book is. I mean, this just goes on and on and on, but that's all the information for everything that you've got in your book. That's what I mean. It's just a jumbled mess of numbers, letters, symbols, and everything. But say that's because of all the information that's inside here. So I've got all my sciences. Whoops. All of my blueprints. So this is like level 1, level 2, level 3, because you have 3 types of what do you call them? Assemblers. So they level 1, level 2, level 3. Oh yeah, it only gets bigger. So the more you put in your book, the more lines will be added. Can you make me a base? A tour of your base? Yeah, I can do that. Whoa, one sec. Hold the phone. Nothing's broken. No, everything. No, it's nearly broken. Like, which way are they coming from then? Got. Oh, they're just coming right down the middle and not getting. They might just be coming down the middle. 1 second. Just let me see if they're not just sneaking down the middle here. Right. So, my base. So down here... This is the area around here. Yeah, that's what I mean. I need to expand my iron production. So, when I first started the stream earlier, and I started this new game, I started off in this area. Next to copper, iron, coal, and some stone. You start off with these basic miners, which need fuel, not electricity, to work. So you start off with these, you put them in the box, and then you can gather resources. So I expanded, put down some basic research and some basic belt production, which I don't need anymore, so I can get rid of all this. Down here, I will be up here. You can't see it because I haven't got any radar down. I will be building some research up here. We'll be doing that once all the iron has been built up. I don't even think you could take the position from the lab to another. You can if you're asking what I think you're asking. You can move stuff. So you can pick stuff up and I won't lose that, if that's what you was asking. I have my power being produced over here next to the water. 1 production line for potions for each lab. Yeah. Well, when I show you where I've got my... where I'll be building my actual science, you'll see what I mean. So I've got this down here. I've got water to be able to fuel it, and a line of coal coming in, because currently we're on coal power. Later on we'll move on to nuclear, but that's a lot further down the line. We have miners here and here for getting coal, for getting copper and iron, which is what we was just working towards. Filling. Get that plumbed in. Repair packs, yes. This area is where I do all of my smelting. So, when you start building a bigger base and you're actually producing a lot of things that you need later in the game, you're going to need a lot of smelters, a hell of a lot of smelters. My first couple of games, I didn't have enough, and I was always running out of copper and iron and steel plate especially. So now what I do is I have 8 iron and 8 copper being produced. Reminds me of the dentist. That's probably where the sound comes from. Just someone in the dentist going, just do that again. His microphone capturing the sound. So yeah, I have 8, or will have 8 iron being built along this side. I plumbed the copper in here just to save on resources. The copper is going to go on the other side and be produced along here. I then have 4 steel smelting arrays. 2 are there and 2 here. I haven't started that production up yet because I don't need them at the moment. That's going to be one of the next tasks after I get red and green science being made. The one thing I will say is if you are starting up a game, make sure you have what's called a main bus and put the main resources down. I have the image of the poor patient awkwardly having a mic next. Yeah, I know what you mean. While he's got all the gear and he's going, what are you doing? Yeah, with the main bus, I always put iron, copper, green circuits, red circuits, blue circuits, steel plate, plastic and batteries on this bus because you're going to need a lot of them later on. So I have... So one smelting array, so this one here, has 1 belt that it needs to fill. So I have a run of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means up to here is going to satisfy these 4 belts eventually. And then the next 4 will satisfy this for iron. So I have 8 lanes, 8 full belts of iron to be going at. And then what I've started doing, anything that is being built along the south side of the bus gets filled by these 4. Anything on the north side of the bus will get filled by these 4. So it helps balance everything out slightly. Same with the copper. So 8 lanes of copper, 8 belts of copper. So the bottom copper will satisfy the southern half of the base. The top belt of copper will satisfy the north side of the base. Again, just so you don't run out. Because the one thing that happens later on is if you've only got 4 belts of iron and copper, you're going to run out of copper very easily and iron very easily. So you need as much capacity for iron and copper as you possibly can. Same with green circuitry. Green circuitry is used in a hell of a lot of stuff, and it is also used for making red circuits. So you need green circuits to make lots of things. You need green circuits to make red circuits. So yeah, you always need a lot of green circuits, which is why I have 4 green circuit productions, 1 to fill each belt. There's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. Will production keep up with the use? So what happens is if you fill the belt, so I'll show you with the copper here. This is a good indicator. So this copper line here is full. What will happen is your smelting array will fill its own storage up to 100, and then it'll stop until the belt is empty and the inserters can pop down the copper, and that'll happen. So you see there's like a pause button. You just see that there in the green, in the yellow circle. So that means that this smelter is full because the output is full. And then it's the same for the miners as well. So the miners, once the belt is full and it cannot deposit anymore, it's waiting for space on destination to place the next raw copper or iron or coal or uranium or stone or whatever it is. So as soon as the belt is full and it's not being used, it'll stop. So you're never wasting resources. I'll go past it then. Ah! Always run out of belt. Hey, Soulburn! Well, welcome back, sir. Right, so a splitter there and a splitter there. I'm working on it, Soulburn. I'm getting there. I've just set off my second... Yes, I did. Thank you for that, Sunset. I did not register that. Thank you. There we go. And then we'll put a splitter there, just so it balances the belts. Right. And that will keep on rolling. We'll set these next two up. So we've got 4 full belts of iron, and then 4 full belts of iron to be going at. And then we'll put one of the splitters in, and I'll show you how all those splitters work, Sunset. As well, Sunset, as you get further into the game, you can get logistic drones. So what they'll do is you can request things from your bus and from the factories that you've made. So you can request inserters, belt, assemblers, anything that you give to the logistics network, and it just makes life so much easier. You don't have to run backwards and forwards throughout your base to try and find whatever it is you need. It just makes life so much easier. Yep. Yeah, you will learn the more you play. I mean, I say watching people, I found was the easiest way to learn how to play this game, because you watched how they built things and watched how you sort of learn how things worked by watching someone. Oh yeah, there is a free demo, yeah. But yeah, Sunset's already got the game. He said he installed it this morning and took one look at it and was like, no. You're at 450 hours. How many hours have I got? I have got 312. Lily, calm down. But once you get into Factorio, it will take your life, because it's always a case of, oh well, I'll just do this and I'll just do that and I'll. Oh, but if I've done this now, I need to do that. But I need to do that because if I don't do that, I won't remember next time I play. A friend of mine was working on a sushi belt design. I thought I could do it better. I made something pretty neat. Oh, cool. Did it work well, though? That's the question. If it didn't work well, then there was no point in doing it. Instead of it being 15 combinators, I wrote it down to 5 per recipe. Oh, cool. Belts and... You don't understand why people build huge bases from the start. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to get to do, is to go to bots. But I'm going to run out of the starting iron and copper and iron and coal soon. Well, I say soon. I have 295 coal left, 403k iron. So actually, I think I'll be alright. But I always like to get to trains. One, because trains and they're awesome, and two, because it means all right. Quite easy to get the bots before the starter patches dry out. Yeah. Instead of doing red, blue, instead of doing red, blue, blue, red. Easier to place. Yeah, I know. I just like the... I don't know why I do it that way, to be fair. It's just something I've always done. Okay, we're running out of... iron. Something is... Again, I always forget to update my book. That's the problem I have. I get to a point in the game, and then I'm like, yep, I need to remember to do all this and put it in my book, and then I forget to update my book. So, yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Well, yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? Everyone has their own ways of doing things. But yeah, Sunset, I will be playing this game every Sunday. For the next, God knows how long. Until I either get bored or we launch the launch the rocket and escape. So if you want to see the full series, then say every Sunday I'll be playing. I'm refactoring my whole base because I've unlocked molten metals. Replacing belts with pipes. Is that a mod, or is that... Yeah, it's a mod. Oh, right, okay. How does that work then? You have to refine... I assume you have to refine it into... everything into, like, molten... whatever. An arc furnace turns pure metals into molten. Fair enough. Yeah, I've never experimented with that. And there were foundries that mould them into ingots, plates, or gears. Okay, fair enough. Which mod's that then? What's the name of that mod called? I might have a look at it. Industrial Revolution 2 is a complete overhaul. Oh, right. Oh, so it changes the way that you craft completely then, does it? Or, like, iron, copper and stuff? Give me 1 second.
Likely a different Max Verstappen today.
Setting the Formula 1 up so I can have it on my top monitor. The mod makes it... The mod maker doesn't like people making money off it. You can't stream it if you've got subscribers. Eh? What? So if you're a Twitch, so if you're playing Factorio with his mods, you can't stream it if you have subscribers because you're making money from...
Well, looks like what? The good Lord just sent me a conversation starter.
Thank you for that follow there, Sunset Gamer. Yes, Sunset Gamma. It's very kind of you, thank you. Yeah, that's in his terms of service. How strange though, because like mod authors are normally like, yeah, go. I want you to show off what I've done. I want you to show what I've created, and that's weird. That's really weird. It's really weird. Yeah, they are strange. As well, what I don't get with some mod authors, it's happened with a couple of mods that I've played in the past. They just take them down from the like Steam Workshop or something for like no good reason. It's like, well, why? You put all that time and effort into making something, and then you're just going to take it off the workshop. I don't get it. Like there's I play a bit of Arma 3. now and again, and a guy had modded in the original Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis campaign into Arma 3. And I was like, oh, this is ace. It's like a remaster type thing, because obviously it's in the Arma engine, so it looks better. And then he takes it off the workshop. And I was like, why? You put all them hours into creating this campaign again, and you've just taken it off the workshop for some unknown reason. And it's like, I don't get it. But in the amount of hours that would have gone into it just to take it down, I just find it a bit strange, but I don't know. It's like creating a game and then saying to streamers, well, you can't stream it because you're making money off streaming it. People take money off it. Take that stuff and make money off it. Then again, though, it's just like everything with music and copyright at the minute, isn't it? You know, copyrighting games. How is it in English? Yeah, splitter. So you can split something. Obviously, you can split something in half. But then this is a splitter, which is pretty much the same thing. It's something that splits something. Well, I say English isn't your first language, so it'd be like me if I came in. Let's say you streamed it, and you were streaming in French, and I had my basic French, and I could still remember French to a basic level. I'd be like, how do you say this? So yeah, don't worry about it. Right. I think it is time that we can look at upgrading. These. There we go. Do you watch stuff in English to learn English? Yeah, well, if you have a basic understanding of the language, then listening to people speak is obviously going to be a better way of understanding how to construct your sentences in English. You know, it's like when you move to another country, isn't it, and you start learning their language. The more you're around someone who speaks that language, let's use French as the example because you are French. Obviously, you learn how to say words, you learn how to use different words in different sentences. So, yeah. Right, so we're sort of satisfying our iron need. We don't need to worry about copper. We're more than satisfied on that. So, I think we can finally... You're still a bit shy to speak English. Can't seem to form a phrase when I'm with people. Well, again, that comes down to speaking it more and practicing. Even if, as daft as it sounds, if you wanted to learn how to speak English better, speaking if you can. I'm just trying to think how I could say this. So you could speak to yourself in a mirror. So you're talking to yourself, and that's not awkward. It's awkward, but you'll be used to it because you're speaking to yourself. It's not like you're speaking to someone who in English and they're like, "What you on about? What you trying to say? I don't understand." So I say you can speak to yourself, and then what you can do as well, because I did this when I was learning French in school, because we had to do a French speaking. It was part of the coursework, so you had to write out so much about yourself. So you had to write it out in French, and then you had to speak it in French. So I would just stand in the mirror with what I wrote pinned next to it, and I spoke in French whatever I had written down. But in front of people you can't speak. Well, I suppose that is a bit of stage fright in a sense, isn't it? Which is natural. You know, everyone gets stage fright, so I won't worry too much about it. But again, the more confident you are in speaking any language, the easier it becomes to speak to other people. So yeah, I won't worry too much about that. The more you can speak a language, and the more you can speak a language, and the more you want to understand the language as well. Because again, English is a very, very strange language, because it's influenced by many different cultures over the course of, you know, the UK being a country, or like England being a country, Scotland and everything. You know, we've got Celtic in our language, we've got Saxon in our language, we've got Latin in our language. So the English language is it doesn't seem complicated to someone who is English, sorry. But it can be complicated for someone on the outside trying to learn it, because the same word can mean two different things, and it can be spelt the same way, but the way that you pronounce it makes it different.
Hello there.
I haven't done that. I always forget, because I've got a soundboard. I always forget that I need to start using my soundboard. So, like when you two came in, I should have done a hello to you both. Anyway, I need to keep remembering. But yeah, I say, like, the English language is just influenced by so many different other languages that it is quite a jumbled mess of ways that you can say a word. That's why, as well, with someone who is dyslexic, like myself, I am dyslexic, and part of the problem is because there's many different ways that a sound can be made, and there's many different ways that you can write down how that sound would be in letters. So, like fish, for example. Dyslexics of the world unite. Oh, you're dyslexic as well, Soburn. Oh, untie. I was like it said unite. I'm trying to read stuff quickly. You twat. But it's one of them when you're trying to write, when you're reading something quickly, if they always say you can jumble up a word, but if the first letter and the last letter are in the right place, your brain will automatically unjumble the letters to make that word. If you're like reading something quickly, because that's another thing that when I went through the dyslexic sort of institute, they call it. Sounds like an insane asylum, but you know, when you go through and do all the units and everything, they teach you that to say, look, even if words aren't spelt right, but as long as you get the first letter and the last letter, your brain can decipher the rest. Which is exactly what I just did there when you said untie and I said unite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you'll read something and go, that doesn't make sense, and it's like, oh, it doesn't make sense because I said the wrong word. Or I interpreted the wrong word. But yeah. But yeah, Soulburn, you twat. Why have we stopped? Ah! Put them the wrong way around. I do that as well. I can read something twice and still go, that's still wrong. Again, that's the fun of language, isn't it? Where did they go there? Yeah, language is a weird and wonderful mistress. It's like Russian as well. If you've ever tried to like try and understand Russian, it's really complicated. I came over here for belt and I forgot the belt. That sounded like a big attack. Why did you put your splitter this way? What do you mean, why did I put the splitter down this way? On the iron line. It's saying, why have I done something like that? Is that what you mean? Why have I done this? Yeah, right. So if you do something like this, it's like a load balancer, or a very cheap one to put down. I have a proper load balancer, actually. I'll show you. So basically what happens is, when you are drawing from the belt, you put a splitter down, you put your belt, and then it'll draw off one belt. But what happens is, you're going to end up taking off all the resources off this belt, and then there's going to be nothing left. So what you need to do is, if you need to have your different iron lines here, and then you need to make sure that anything across any belt can fill any space across any belt, if that makes sense. It's just another way of making sure that all your belts are full at any one time. But then what you find will happen is what's happening here. So you'll notice that the top line of each belt is full, but then the bottom line of each belt is empty. That's because of the way that the inserters are picking items off the belt. They're picking it off the front of this bottom part of the belt, not the top part. But then you can't mix that up. You can't sort that out unless you make the items go down one side of the belt like this. So if I set this up, so I can show you what I mean. So you can do something like that. And that means that only the top part of the belt is ever going to be full. Whereas if I did that, both the top and the bottom of the belt would be full. So if you don't need tons of iron to create, I don't know, let's say turrets. Turrets, you don't need tons of iron in the beginning. So what you can do is you can, instead of having a full belt, you can have a half full belt to save on resources for other things. But for something like this, when I scale this up later on, you're going to need a full belt because the demand will be there for a full belt. It's just currently the demand isn't there for the full belt, but eventually it will be. I'm running out of things to research. No, these are belts. The rails are for the trains. Yeah, but it's one of them. If you know what you're talking about when you say a rail, then that's fine. You know what you're talking about. I still didn't pick up all that belt. Again, you can use whatever terminology you like, as long as you understand what you're talking about. But they're always the name of them in the game is a transport belt, so I just call them belts. Hang on a minute, why do I need that? I don't need that. What am I doing? The problem when you follow somebody else's design and then don't update it for your needs, you end up putting things down that you don't need. Oh. Yeah, because he's going backwards, I need it going this way. In French it's called conveyor, to mean conveyor. Yeah. Conveyor. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Iron, iron. copper, green, red, steel. Hang on a minute. Have I left too? Have I got too big a gap? Iron, iron, copper, copper, green, red. Steel, plastic, batteries, blue, and then a spare one. Okay. There are 5 lines of green. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there are. See, this is why you need chat. This is why a streamer needs chat. Because we can't count, and 2, you just miss stuff. Right, is that right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got a gap up here and a gap down there. Yep, that'd be fine. And then I've got a spare to put whatever I want. I'll have 5. I'll have 5 lines for the last. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cheers. I left that there. That was a test. That was a test. That's what I'm going for. That was a test and you passed. It was. Honest. Yeah. Yeah, so you should, yeah. Definitely a test. Making sure he was paying attention, you know. Right, so... that line is copper. This is where things start getting complicated. Shift it over 1. No! No! Bad bugs! I'm gonna need to get my turret ring up and running sooner rather than later. And get my walls built. Right, get this up and running. Get the research in place so that I can start researching a hell of a lot quicker. Some of them have got past. And then we need to get some walls built. Or else I'm going to keep getting attacked like this. Oh, one piece of advice, Sunset. Early on, do not, if you can avoid it, attack the bug bases. If you can avoid attacking the bug bases, avoid it. Because what happens is the more you take out early game, the more quickly they that's out of ammo. The more quickly they evolve, so then they become harder. We're getting attacked in the south.